Patricia, welcome. What was it like to play Margaret Thatcher?
Well, it's a great role, which is why a lot of us have done it. I mean, it's as simple as that, really. I think you always have to examine the context in which you're playing the role, and the difficulty was that until I played it, really she'd been lampooned and caricatured a lot, and so...
It was all spitting image and things like that,
exactly,
wasn't it?
so there was a lot of reflection before I said I would do it, but it was made easier because I spoke to the producers and I said, look, if you're looking for an impersonation, then I think I'm the wrong person to do this, because if we're looking at an impersonation, you won't be listening to the story. And they said, no, it's absolutely what we don't want. So, and it was further unlocked by the fact that she was only called Prime Minister in this story. So it was a woman Prime Minister in a difficult situation, and that helped me. But then a strange thing happened, that when you get the big hair done and you get the power dressing and everything, actually she does begin to take over. The only thing that that really, I mean, I kept it as simple as possible, but I was only interested in the way her mind worked, and I think for that context, that was the only thing to be concerned about.
How did you go about doing the research there? Because you must have had to study her really hard. You're playing a living person.
Yes, yes, I mean, and it's an awesome responsibility always, but no, I did two things. I read the relevant chapters of the Downing Street Years, because they were her thoughts. It was her voice that wrote that. And that was all I had to concern myself with. You can't look objectively, because it's highly subjective. And I talked to Dennis Blakelock, who'd made a film about her, a documentary, and just got an idea of what she was like away from the public face. And those were the only two things I carried with me, really.
And it's said that, you know, it was a controversial play, wasn't it? But it's also said that your portrayal showed a sort of more vulnerable side to her.
Well, it was a version. I mean, there have been many versions of the Falklands story. In this one, it was from the corridors of power and how decisions were arrived at. And you represent the way that somebody acts in those situations.